Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Victoria and this is Time and Tenderness. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over with you my top 5 homemaking skills that I have found to be the most useful during quarantine and how you can develop those skills as well. The first half of 2020 has taught us many things about life as we knew it. With many states and regions of the world shutting down, more and more people are finding themselves at home, an unprecedented amount of people finding themselves at home. And more women, I have noticed, are looking to go back to the basics of homemaking and doing things themselves and being more self-sufficient, which is great. Even though I have now been a full-time homemaker going on 4 years now, there have been a few moments where I have taken a step back and realized that maybe there are some areas in my life where I need to maybe get even more back to basics with. As well as I've discovered there are a lot of skills that I have or that I want to learn that I will never take for granted again. Here are my top 5 homemaking skills that I really appreciated during this time and how you can start cultivating them now. Skill number 1, cleaning. I look back now on how I used to clean in January and February and even before that, and I'm looking back and I'm realizing that I used to cut a lot of corners. It just never occurred to me back then just how much bacteria and nastiness that I could potentially be bringing home from just going to the grocery store. I had a basic cleaning routine prior to all of this, but it is now that I'm realizing that there is always room for improvement. Cleaning is a necessity of life. Even in the animal kingdom, there have been animals that have been seen cleaning wherever they live to protect either their home, their clan, their colony, or just their offspring. Cats are famous for grooming themselves, and mother birds have been seen cleaning their nests to protect their babies from parasites, bacteria, and from attracting predators. In the past, I've shared many videos of my cleaning routine, as well as tips and tricks on how to develop your own cleaning routine, all of which I will link in the description down below. I will also link all of my favorite cleaning related YouTube channels in my description down below so that you can continue to get more ideas and inspiration on how you can keep your home nice and clean. Anyone can clean. Even if you're still living with your parents or with roommates, you can tidy up after yourself. You can always do your part in tidying up your living space, whether it be the common areas in your home or just your bedroom. Skill number 2, cooking. Cooking is something that I have always enjoyed. Even as a little girl, I loved hanging out in the kitchen with my mom and any other notable women in my life and just watching them cook. With just about all the restaurants either being shut down or very limited in their services, as well as the general public being encouraged to just limit their trips to the grocery store, cooking is now a widely discussed topic. Cooking is a learned skill that I recognize many struggle with. Sadly, many in our modern world have become heavily dependent on restaurants and fast food for their meals for the day. But due to recent events, more and more people are turning back to basics and wanting to learn how to cook on their own, which is great. So where does one start when they want to learn how to cook? I have tried to put out cooking videos in the past that have displayed very easy recipes and meals that even the most beginner of beginners can learn how to do. YouTube is another valuable resource when it comes to learning how to cook. Some of my favorite YouTube chefs are Binging with Babish and Joshua Weissman, as well as Mary's Nest. I will link all 3 YouTubers in the description down below. Many YouTube chefs are specifically catering towards beginner cooks, so find a channel that you like, subscribe, and just start watching videos. You know more than you think just by watching and just by, general becoming mature as a mature young adult. You know more than you think you do. Another way to develop skills in the kitchen is to subscribe to a meal delivery service such as Blue Apron, HelloFresh, or Home Chef. Now, I know there is a lot of talk recently about shortening the chain and our food supply system and that we need to shorten everything and how food gets to the consumer, but I still do believe that there is a place for these meal delivery services for the beginner cook. These meal delivery services send you everything you need, all the ingredients pre-measured, pre-portioned, as well as foolproof instructions, videos, and apps for your phone so that you really have all the tools that you need to start cooking. Homemaking skill number 3. Planning. Many are familiar with the account of the capable wife in the book of Proverbs in the Bible. In that book, a woman is described as the capable wife, and she pretty much is prepared for just about anything life throws at her. Planning is key to avoiding stress and panic, and this is something that I learned firsthand during this pandemic. Even long before this pandemic began, I personally took the stance that you can never truly know what tomorrow has in store for you. I've always tried to keep a pantry full of non-perishable goods, an extra stock of cleaning supplies, and yes, extra toilet paper. The American Red Cross suggests that every household have a certain amount of non-perishable goods, emergency supplies, enough for every person living in the home. This is something my husband and I have always tried to keep up with. So when the pandemic started, we really didn't need to rush to the store and stock up on emergency supplies and extra food because we already had it on hand. We also always try to look at the news to see what is going on in the world. Now, I must caution against the overconsumption of news. There is a lot of sensationalized news stories out there, a lot of false news, and it can just be very taxing to your mental health. But just like how you turn to the weather report to get a general understanding of what the weather might hold for you for that week, you do want to turn to the news occasionally to just get a general understanding of what is going on, either locally or worldwide, but we prefer to know what's going on locally and nationally. Take the time to learn what the Red Cross has to say about emergency supplies that should always be on hand in your home, and try to watch the news at least one time a week just so that you know what's going on locally around you. Doing this will help you to know what is going on around you, as well as ensure that you can prepare accordingly based on what you hear or what you see, and so that you are never left in the dark. Skill number 4, hobbies. With all the newfound time on our hands, many have been struggling with exactly how to spend all of that time. Developing a hobby that you enjoy adds enrichment to your life and can be good for your overall well-being and mental health. Some hobbies that have really taken off recently are baking, gardening, crocheting, knitting, sewing, and many more. Many hobbies also teach us valuable skills and life lessons that we can incorporate in other aspects of our life. Personally, I have really dived into baking, gardening, and letter writing. Yes, letter writing. I have been sending letters to family, friends, as well as different ones in the community just to brighten their day. If you've been struggling with finding a hobby, maybe you could take up letter writing, sending a thinking of you card or a recipe in the mail to somebody that you care about, a relative, a friend, a neighbor. It really brightens their day. Not only does it brighten their day, but then it can brighten your day because chances are you'll receive some kind words back in the mail from whoever you sent the letter to. Now, the 5th skill is community. Now, how is community a homemaking skill? Well, many in the homemaking community agree that nurturing and caring for others is a valuable asset. Not only is it a valuable asset to care for others and build up your local community back in the past, but it is even more so important now when we can't really be around each other and we really need community to help us. Are you active in your community? Your community could be just a group of like-minded friends, a mom group, just a local neighborhood association or a students association, or whatever it is that you find yourself drawn to. If you have a community that you're attached to, is there any way that you can become more active in that community? Could you perform a kind service for someone, maybe leaving them a gift at their door, sending them a note, arranging a Zoom party or a drive-by parade during this time? There is a saying that goes, there is more happiness in giving than there is in receiving, and I have found that to be very, very true, especially during these times. When you rally around others in their time of need, they are more likely to rally around you in your time of need. I have really appreciated my personal community during this time, how everybody has rallied around each other. Even though we are not able to physically meet together, I have seen more love and affection now than I have ever seen before. Well, friends, those were my 5 skills that I have found to be very invaluable during this time, and I hope I gave some good advice on how you can cultivate those skills as well. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave a comment in the description down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!